Good morning, everybody. Yes, so everybody I see is happy to be here, talking with each other, community behaving as communities behave, which is awfully nice. So first I want to thank everybody for your kindness, your thoughts, and sending me the light as I had the cataract surgery this week. And so far, so good. I can see better. You know, when I got home and looked in the mirror, it was a little scary, you know. So, but I managed to get through it. I said, who is that guy? Anyway, I've had the good fortune of being acquaintances and friends with Harold Payne, and I'm doing one of his songs to start with. It's called Something Wonderful, and I don't know if is it in the thing? Yeah, if you want to sing along, it's real simple. It's really nice. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Well, I feel it in my body, I feel it in my soul, and I feel it in my heart, and it won't let me go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful.
Yes, thank you, Joe. And welcome everybody to Unity of Hagerstown. Welcome to those who are watching us virtually as well. We're so glad that you're here, present, and here, present. So we're honoring Women's History Month, and we have a quote here from Maya Angelou. Make every effort to change things you do not like. If you cannot make a change, change the way you have been thinking. You might find a new solution. Let's begin with our opening prayer. I invite you to join me in this sacred activity. Taking a moment and going to our heart space, letting go all the worries of the day, all the concerns, all the busyness, so that we can find ourselves fully present here and now. And we open to that activity of spirit, that activity of love, that activity of wisdom. We open to something wonderful right here and now. We give thanks for this gathering. We give thanks for this awareness. And so it is. Amen. And if you will join me in our mission statement together. Unity of Hagerstown, a welcoming community, embraces spiritual awakening through affirmative prayer and meditation, creating a positive path of abundant living for all. And now we have the reading of the Daily Word with Helen Shoemaker. And as Helen comes up here, just a reminder that the Daily Word you can purchase through unity.org, either to land in your email inbox or have a hard copy for a daily inspirational reading.
Good morning. Today's word is illuminate. I welcome the light. Taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of a sunset, I realize that, in another part of the world, the first rays of a rising sun are bringing light to a morning sky. Whether I can see it or not, the sun never stops. Somewhere, a new day is dawning. Much more brilliantly than the sun, the light of God, too, is always shining. Sometimes my thoughts may be so focused on a challenging life situation that I do not sense this divine light. Then, in a flash of insight, I experience again illuminating presence that, even in my darkest moments, is near as my next thought. I affirm, let there be light. I breathe out frustration and worry. Breathing in, I am filled with the light of truth that illuminates my mind and shines from within my heart. And the scripture, Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, then God said, let there be light, and there was light. Please join me in the affirmation on the screen. I welcome the light. Take a moment, breathe it in, and feel that we are the light. And again, I welcome the light.
Thank you, Helen. And now we have another song with Joe Genorio.
Yes, thank you. This is a Daniel Nahmod song. At the same time I met Harold Payne at one of the Unity music directors conferences. I also met him, and these are wonderful composers. This is Be the Change, which I'm sure many of you know. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the love you want to flow. Be the peace you want to feel around you. Forgive others, let it go. Look within to find the endless resource. Bring forth joy and send it out. Look to Spirit for your inspiration. Live the life you talk about. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the truth you want to know. Be the truth you want to know around you. You're divine, so let it show. Look inside to find the love you're seeking. Know the path that is for you. Look to wisdom and imagination, 'cause the change you want is you. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the love you want to flow. Be the peace you want to feel around you. Forgive others, let it show, let it go. Be the change. Be the change. Be the change.
Thank you, Joe. Yes. Beautiful song, beautiful message. And now we have a reading from our Lenten booklet with Paula Myers.
Good morning. Thank you, Sandy, for letting me share this with your congregation. Desire is manifested from our power of love. When we are strongly attached to something, we strongly desire it. We love it in one way or another. Excessive desire gives rise to unhealthy attachment. Unhealthy attachment creates false idols in consciousness. We can lose our grounding and our awareness of our innate divinity, which may inhibit manifestation. Attachment is not the problem. Unhealthy attachment is. Detachment occurs when we use our powers of discernment, understanding, and will to moderate our power of love while desiring something more valuable, like deeply knowing our inherent divinity. The solution is easy. The application takes patience. Detachment involves no longer giving power or importance to any unhealthy attachment, while refocusing our desire, our love, on our inherent divinity, which is divine substance composed of divine ideas and laws of mind. Divine ideas and laws of mind are the fundamental ingredients for manifestation and demonstration. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Matthew 6:21. The affirmation, and we'll repeat this. I am innately divine. I do not create false idols. Sink that in to your soul, heart, mind, and body. We'll say it again. I am innately divine. I do not create false idols.
Thank you, Paula. So we're going to try this again this week, greeting our neighbors. And I'm going to invite you just to greet those who are in close proximity so that we can do this kind of in a timely manner. And I would also encourage you, if you are not a hugger, to let people know. They don't need to hug you. Just put your hand out for a handshake or even a wave if you want to do that. And if you are a hugger, don't assume everyone is, okay? Because some people may not want that, okay? We want to respect them. So, howdy, neighbor. Go ahead and greet your neighbor. And for those of you on Facebook land, I want you to put down a comment, if you would, and just say hello to whoever's watching it. I love you. I hope that you get something out of this service today. And hopefully you don't mind the wide screen. Let me know what you think about the wide screen. It's just easier for us on this end to do that. Okay, let's get back to our seats. Let's get back to our seats. Let's get back to our seats and sit down, please. Thank you for getting back to your seat. Thank you for getting back to your seat. Okay, pretty good. Okay, I love this part of the service, and I don't want to cut it out. I want to continue with it. And so much of it depends on your cooperation. So I appreciate you finding your seat in a timely manner. So at this time, I'd like to invite our current prayer chaplains up. Diane, Karen, Helen. We want to have a little bit of an installation service. And for those of you who may not know, Karen is a new prayer chaplain. She has undergone the training, and she has decided to serve as prayer chaplain this year. Prayer chaplains are not only here during the Sunday service to lead us in prayer, but they also call members throughout the month, the members of Unity, not attendees only, but a member, and just to check in then and see if there's any prayer requests. They're also available for after the service if there's a need for one-on-one prayer support. Okay. In the book of Isaiah, the prophet is asked by God, "Whom shall I send, And who will go for us? Isaiah responds, "Here am I, send me." Today we gather to celebrate and recognize each of you, for you have said, "Here am I, send me." Heeding the call to be a prayer chaplain means you were first willing to participate in training. In addition, you've committed to a daily spiritual journey based on love, faith, prayer, and gratitude. To demonstrate an active commitment to this ministry and its teachings, to hold spiritual space, that space of possibilities for others and yourself, knowing and trusting that God is in charge. You have committed to prayer, both with yourself and with others, to lovingly listen, and to hold all that is shared in strict confidence. You have agreed to put this commitment into action by your presence here on Sunday mornings and also on a monthly basis calling the members. In the awareness of the activity of the Holy Spirit which has led you to this moment of commitment, I invite you to your heart space. And if your heart says yes to the following, then I ask that you respond with the words, "I am." Are you willing to accept this commitment and dedication? Are you willing to remember to open a space for God no matter what? Are you willing to do your best to stay prayed up? Are you willing to support the other members of the prayer chaplain team? Are you willing to practice self-care? I'm going to hold you to that. Okay. I'd like to quote from Myrtle Fillmore. She says, "As you learn to see the fullness of God's life and love and power and substance in others, you will know that you need not pour out your own for them. You will have the knowledge and the light to call their attention to what they have and to prompt them to use it. You have said, yes, I will create a space filled with compassion and love for anyone seeking it. And I thank you and I thank God for each of you, for your time, your energy, and your dedication. I thank you for the many, many visible and invisible ripples of blessings which will be the results of your loving service. You are an incredible gift to this ministry." So on behalf of our entire church community, let's thank our prayer chaplains. Yay! Go ahead and be seated now. Helen's like, "Can we go now?" Oh, my goodness gracious. So we're continuing on with the series based on this book, The Lazarus Blueprint, a book written by a husband and wife team, Mary Alice and Richard Jafolla, both of whom are ordained Unity ministers. And just to recap, in case you've missed a couple Sundays, this book looks at Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, but in a metaphysical light. That does not mean it cancels out a more literal interpretation or any other type of interpretation. It just means that there's more than one way of viewing something, right? So the first step in this 6-step process to inner peace and wholeness, as outlined in this book, is to turn away. In the story, Mary and Martha sent for Jesus to come to Lazarus because he was sick. And Jesus waited a few days. He waited a few days. So turn away from your problem, whatever problem you may be facing, so that the wisdom within has an opportunity to come forth. You make space for it. Hit the pause button. The second step is to identify that which is blocking whatever it is we need healing, what limiting thoughts that we might be holding about it. Remember, in metaphysical interpretation, each character represents a state of consciousness within each of us. Lazarus in the grave is representing that which we would like to heal in our lives. But there's a stone blocking that grave. So what is the stone in our own life? What is it that is blocking that wholeness, that fullness of expression? You know, we are made in the image and likeness of God, held in divine mind as perfect. And it's the power of our thought, our emotions, our vibration that aligns us back to wholeness. So we go within to find the stone that is blocking our way to that wholeness we seek. Now today we're going to look at step 3, great expectations. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at expectations, as a strong belief that something should happen, or maybe someone should say something that they didn't, or should act a certain way. If I expect my son to call me on a regular basis, I may be disappointed. If I expect to feel a certain way during meditation, maybe I feel like I'm supposed to see stars and whatever, and I don't, then perhaps it's time for me to learn to accept what arises. Whenever we use that word should, we have placed a judgment on the situation, and that stifles our awareness of the activity of spirit within. Maybe I should repeat that. When we use should, we are stifling the awareness of that activity of spirit, of wisdom, of love within. We have placed a judgment on something else, or maybe even ourselves. Now, the other way that expectations is used is in a strong belief or faith that something will happen. Notice there is no should here. It's an inner knowing. We have stopped shoulding ourselves. Our elder brother Jesus taught us this: ask and you shall receive. Expect to receive. So let's take a moment and review a little bit more of the story of Lazarus. So Jesus had been sent for, and he eventually came to Bethany. And at that time, Lazarus had already been dead and buried. He was in the tomb. There was a stone in front of it. And Jesus went to the tomb, and there's a lot of grumbling about. I mean, some of it might have been people were confused. What's he doing here now? There's nothing he can do. I don't understand. And some of it might have been snide, like, doesn't he know there's a stinking body in there? I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of grumbling, though. And to all of this, Jesus states, did I not tell you, if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? And they took away the stone. Jesus knew that things are not always how they appear. It might have seemed foolish to others to remove the stone of a grave of a person who's been dead 4 days. But Jesus had different expectations. We know our physical senses give us plenty of information, but they don't give us the whole story, do they? Take for our sight, for instance. The human eye can only see objects that reflect light waves between ultraviolet and infrared. This is only 1% of the spectrum of the vast electromagnetic waves that are there. We are only seeing 1% around us. That's 99% we're not even aware of. An eagle has vision 4 times as good as ours. So at 20 feet, they can see something that we have to basically be right up on, right? By this standard, we're definitely not seeing everything that's around us. And the human ear only picks up vibrations between about 64 and 23,000 hertz. A hertz is the frequency of 1 cycle per second. A kilohertz is how many thousands of cycles per second. And check this out. All of these creatures can hear much more than we can. And this is not a exhaustive list at all. But we are missing a lot. I think you get the picture, right? Our 5 physical senses are great, but they don't tell us the whole story. So we learn to see beyond, and I'm putting see in quotes, we learn to see beyond our senses because we are more than physical beings. We have a body, it's true. We have a brain. We have emotions, but we are spirit. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. So Jesus ignores the grumbling crowd, ignores what maybe even his common sense is telling him, about a body in a tomb. And he says, did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Jesus held an expectation of wholeness. He had faith that Lazarus would be healed. Now, faith is the perceiving power of mind, seeing in our mind's eye that God is present no matter what the situation. It's the perceiving power of mind linked with the power to shape substance. Substance is that which underlies all things. Our thoughts, our faith, shape the things around us. So our power of faith is available to all of us all the time. You don't need more faith. We have all the faith that we can possibly have. It's what are we putting it in? What are we placing our faith in? It could be in limiting situations. It could be in wholeness, in prosperity. The Jaffollas write, no matter what you might profess to believe in or pray for or hope for, your actual faith is always invested in what you are expecting. What words, what thoughts about your situation are you repeating day in and day out? Are you telling yourself that this is an impossible situation? Are you telling yourself that you can't do this? Or are you telling yourself that you can? Are you telling yourself that God is greater than this situation? You know, there are many stories about faith that I'm sure you've heard some. There were two in the book that I'd like to share with you today. These are documented cases. And you may have heard of them because both of them are pretty well known. But when I read it in the book again, it was like, oh, I had forgotten that story. This is such a great story. So I wanted to share it with you, both of them. So there's a famous medical case about a man who was dying from cancer, and he had exhausted all possible available treatments. And then he heard of a new experimental drug, and he was sure it would help. So he got the injection, and at that time he was close to death. He was fighting for every breath. 3 days later, he was strolling around the hospital, joking with the nurses. After 10 more days of treatment, he was discharged and able to go home. 2 months later, he read an article in the newspaper that called into question the treatment. Immediately, he relapsed. His doctors, in desperation, told him that they had an improved batch of the drug and that they were sure it would work. And he's like, yes, I'm sure it will work as well. And so he got injected, but what he didn't know is that the doctors did not have an improved batch. They injected him with water. But the man believed he had received a new improved batch of this drug, and he improved again even more than the first time. He remained healthy, symptom-free, until he read another report in the paper saying that the drug was worthless, and he died within a few days. Isn't that a crazy story? That is the power of faith, my friends. Now, there's another case as told by the Nobel Prize-winning surgeon Alexis Carrel, who personally witnessed it. Carrel was traveling to the shrine at Lourdes in order to debunk all the reports of healing there. He didn't believe it. And there were others on the train with him who were going to Lourdes to be healed. And on the journey, he was kept busy tending to a girl who was going there to be healed, named Marie. She was very ill. She kept lapsing in and out of a coma. And Carrel and another physician cared for her on the trip. They did not think that she would last more than a few days. But Marie was determined to take the waters, to take that bath in the waters. And 2 hours after having done so, all symptoms of her illness vanished. Prior to her cure, her face was turning blue, her abdomen was distended, her heart was fatally racing. But all symptoms disappeared because of her faith. My friends, faith is more than mere belief. It is the very substance of that which is believed. It works by love. Gotta love that. The Jafollas tell us that we tend to attract whatever we have our faith in. We can invest our faith in sickness or invest it in health. We can invest our faith in hatred or in love. We can invest our faith in poverty or invest it in prosperity. We tend to get what we expect. We know that faith can move mountains, that faith can make us whole. It takes work, though, to move our faith along the trajectory of limited thinking to one of wholeness. We may have spent decades thinking that, well, I'll share with my own experience. I spent decades thinking that I get a cold once a year. That sounds like a minor thing, right? But I got a cold once a year. And then it's like, I don't want to get a cold once a year. So I had to work to stop that line of thinking and think and affirm perfect health. So it takes dedication, takes a little bit of awareness of what your thoughts are thinking, what your body is holding. Because faith is always going to bump into the self-imposed boundaries of your present thoughts and feelings. In other words, your consciousness. The Jafollas tell us your positive expectations and gather a tremendous energy that draws to you people and circumstances and bodily changes that will support your expectations. Ask and you shall receive. So when Jesus was saying that if you believe you would see the glory of God, what was he saying? What is the glory of God? Or for some, it may be the natural wonders of the earth, and it is an aspect of the glory of God, I believe. Maybe even the stars at night. And this is a display. The Revealing Word, which is a reference book for unity, tells us that glory is realization of divine unity, the blending and merging of man's mind with God. So I believe Jesus was using this situation as a teaching opportunity. Here is the glory of God as God moves through Jesus, as Jesus realizes his oneness with God. My friends, you are one with God as well. Maybe that feels blasphemous, but if God is all there is, if God is present everywhere, wouldn't it be more blasphemy to say God is present everywhere except for here, right? Eric Butterworth tells us Jesus discovered the divine dimension in himself, the Christ self. This was the key to Jesus' acceptance of his divinity, and he made it clear that this same divine dimension is the root reality of each of us. He said, "All that I do, you can do also." The most individually identifying statement in the Bible is Christ in you, your hope of glory. Psalms 8, verses 3 through 5 state, "When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what are human beings that you are mindful of them? Mortals that you care for them, yet you have made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor." The psalmist is saying that you are mightier than your circumstances. You are not only human, you are human and divine, and the divine will always transcend the human. Eric Butterworth tells us you are bigger than your littleness, stronger than your weakness. You have power and dominion over all life's experiences by the attitude with which you deal with it. So, this is kind of out of season, but the Muppets did the Christmas Carol version. Did you ever see that? And they say, "The glory around you is born again each day." I want you to modify that in your thoughts. The glory within you is born again each day as you align with that Christ consciousness that is your true self. You are here to shine your light. You are here to offer the gifts, those unique gifts that you have been given. And we do this as we align with that light within. We're going to take this message into a time of meditation. So I invite you to adjust your position as needed to get comfortable. Maybe put your feet flat on the floor so you can stay grounded. Hands on your lap. Let's take a nice deep breath. Exhaling it. Try to extend it this time. Nice, slow, even inhale. Pausing at the top of it. And slow, even exhale. And as you exhale, allow the shoulders to relax. The jaw to relax. Letting go of any stress or tension. Continue deep breathing. Continue releasing any tension between the shoulder blades and the small of the back. You are here to shine your own unique light and to share your magnificent gifts so that God's glory is made manifest in and through you. Let us take this time in quiet to welcome the light that is within, to open our hearts to it, open our minds to it, open our lives to it. I shine my light. I shine my light. As we go into a period of silence, I invite you to use that as an affirmation, if you will. Use it as an anchor for the meditation time. Use it as a vehicle to go deeper, to relax more. Allow the truth of your being to shine for you. I shine my light in the quiet. In the quiet. I shine my light. I am here to share my magnificent gifts so that God's glory is made manifest in and through me. I shine my light. And as we bring our time of meditation to a close, I invite you to remain resting as Joe shares the next song.
And this is a chant. I've done it before. Those of you that choose to do this, it involves putting your hands together in a prayerful fashion. And the words are, from my heart, from my words, from my thoughts, we are one. And you just continue that, the song focusing on those aspects of yourself, your heart, your words, and your thoughts. From my heart, from my words, from my thoughts, we are one. From my heart, from my words, from my thoughts, we are one. We are one in every way, and every way I know we are. From my heart, from my words, from my thoughts, we are one. From my heart, from my words, from my thoughts, we are one. We are one in every way, and every way I know we are one.
Oh, thank you, Joe. That was beautiful. And this was a test. The words on the screen. You all aced it. Let's join together in our affirmation. Together, I say yes to the divine ideas manifesting in my life now. I say yes to my highest good. I say yes to this thing called life. Yes. And then our offertory prayer together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for the abundance in my life. And now we'll have another song that Joe's going to gift us with as the offering is collected.
You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace, blessed peace. That's all that you are. You are blessed peace, blessed peace. It's all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy. That's all that you are. You are deepest joy, deepest joy. That's all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. Such a holy place.
Oh, thank you, Joe. That was beautiful. Yeah. Okay, we have a few announcements. In case someone didn't know, we are having our chili cook-off pie bake-off today. And I actually can't wait. I hope everybody can stay. Yes. There is a $10 charge for that. We'll just set up a box by the door. You can drop it in. This Wednesday, we have our Remembrance Gathering with Ann Baker facilitating, and that is offered at a love offering. Time to honor those who have passed, or it could be a circumstance that has passed as well, honoring our ancestors too. Friday night, we have our dinner and a movie night. If you're planning on coming, please RSVP so we know how much food to prepare. It's a movie on Ireland for St. Patrick's Day, narrated by John O'Donoghue, my kind of secret crush there. Yeah, it's okay. It's still living there. So there's a sign-up sheet in the hallway if you plan on coming to that. We're having a vegetarian meal, cream of potato and leek soups, Irish soda bread, a salad, and some Irish flapjacks, which I had to look that up, but it's actually a bar cookie, but they call them flapjacks. So, and then next Sunday we have our healing share immediately after the service for anyone who wants to experience Reiki or who would like to gift the community with Reiki or other healing practices. And then on the 25th of the Saturday the 25th, we have the Spring Dance Workshop. Now, I want to encourage everybody to come because this is so much fun. It's with Dance Alchemy. You do not need to be a dancer. All the steps are taught, and it's I remember Dance Alchemy did this for one of our retreats, and it was, at first I couldn't stop laughing because I knew I was imagining what I looked like. But after you get over the laughter and the embarrassment, it's really a sacred art form. So I want to encourage everybody to come to that. And then we do have some ongoing things. Yoga, 6 p.m. Tuesdays, that's ongoing. Our Lazarus Blueprint discussion is going to be ongoing for the next 3 Sundays at 9:30. And then we're doing a reader's theater for Easter morning. If you have a theatrical side that you'd like to bring out, we're looking for 4 more people for a script. So just see me after that. And what? Okay, so a reader's theater is when you don't have to memorize the lines. You're given the script there. And we've done this before. I remember one with Alan and Nina and somebody else I remember. Yeah, and so we've done it before a few times. And it's like a short little 3-minute play without any acting. It's just reading it, basically. Okay, it's fun. Yeah. Okay, so that is, so just see me if you have any desire to be part of that. We'll do it Easter morning. There will be time to rehearse in the upcoming weeks. So at this point, we want to say goodbye to our Facebook friends. And if someone could turn it off, So we got, thank you, everybody. Just, yes. Bye, friends. We love you. We honor you. We behold the light in you.